This podcast encourages and empowers you to create your own unique real story, develop your own unique real statement, and discover your own unique real self. The power is yours. Good night, Michelle Hodges. How are you doing on this wonderful, beautiful night?
I am doing great. It's a beautiful night in North Carolina, and it's always warm here, so it's a nice Friday night.
Were you born in North Carolina?
No, I was born in Miami, Florida, but I actually grew up in Jakarta, Indonesia, and I came back here when I was 15 years old.
Wow. Yeah, well, you saw your accent sounds North Carolinian, but yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
people say that I have a Californian accent, and I'm pretty sure it's because I learned how to speak English via cartoons from Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon growing up. So it's pretty funny. People think I'm from California, but I think that's just from the TV.
That's super cool. Well, my friend, do tell us which of your talents is responsible for us connecting at this specific time in history.
Well, I think you found me from Bobby Carlton's site for women speakers, but let's see. I got into technology a few years back, and I didn't become technical only until 2 years ago, in which I picked up software engineering. I got to speak at Black Hat, which is the biggest security conference in the world. And since then started a Women Leaders in Tech group in Charlotte. We have about 32, 33 members now from the past couple months. And I am now a DevSecOps engineer, which is a mouthful, but it basically, it's the automation of securing software development lifecycle, essentially.
I was wondering, right? I was like, okay, I think like if I had to work with Michelle in my mind, I was just thinking this, right? I think the thing that I would work with her with is how to simplify to the normal listener who's not into tech stuff what you do. Because I'm like, that could take like 25 minutes, right? Like, how do you explain what you do? It's like, okay.
I know, when I was explaining that, I was like, okay, we have about 10 minutes to talk about this. How do I say this in one sentence?
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, what you guys do are pretty amazing. But definitely, if I had to line it up with what our conversation has evolved into, I would say you guys represent the gatekeepers for the virtual world.
Yes. Well, I think the role that we do is we make sure that the software we're shipping out is free of vulnerabilities, so that hackers and all the bad guys basically have a hard time of getting into the system and accessing important data. Yeah. So yeah, I guess like gatekeepers.
Well, probably
to the
not
data
gatekeepers because
yeah.
because when I said it, I just remembered like everyone is like the gatekeepers don't exist. The internet is live now. Not those type of gatekeepers. No, I'm talking about the guys that like in Vikings, like they're on top of the gate or the wall and they have the bow and arrows. Yeah, they're the protectors.
Oh yeah, 100%. We are guardians and protectors of all the PII data.
Definitely. So where did you become so intellectual from? Like, who did you learn that from? Or let's not even do that. Let's do adaptation. Who did you learn adaptability from?
That's actually a really good question. I am not sure. And I think it's maybe because I moved back and forth between the States and Indonesia a lot growing up. First of all, I had to relearn languages every time, because every time I moved to another country, I would forget either Indonesian or English, and I would have to relearn it. And then I would get made fun of by all my friends, and then I would have to learn very quickly. And I also learned Arabic as well growing up in Indonesia. And anyway, but I'm pretty sure that experience of moving back and forth has taught me the skills to adapt fairly quickly. And that's the reason why, even though I graduated college with a degree in biology, when I picked up technology, I don't think it really took me that long. Granted, I did have a personal tutor who's my husband, and he's also a technologist. But yeah, I think, putting someone in a situation where they have to relearn languages and socialize with different types of people every couple years, I think that would definitely create a very adaptable person.
And of course, there are the challenges that go with it, as you said. Having friends that laugh at you when you right. Why would you continue, nevertheless, to be that person who adapts?
It was all in good company, so it's okay.
So why, in spite of that, though, will you continue to adapt and be that person?
Well, in technology especially, you have to adapt. I mean, technology moves so quick, right? Like the internet was just invented, only a few years ago, and then now we're moving things to the cloud, and then, people are only getting smarter and smarter. So I think just working in technology, you have to adapt very, very quickly.
Now, if there's a woman that's listening, that's intrigued by what you do and, wants to be a leader in tech as well, where's the best place for them to connect with you?
Let's see. I would connect on LinkedIn, probably. My name is Michelle Hodges, and if you have to filter by the location, it's Charlotte, North Carolina. I know Michelle Hodges is a very common name. You can also go to my site. There's michellehodge.es. And I'm not sure, maybe I can just send you a link later on, but there's a comment section there, and you can just send me a comment and I'll send you an email back. But I'd be glad to, be a mentor to anyone who wants to get into technology, because to be quite honest with you, there's a lot of information out there that can essentially guide you through all the steps of depending on what direction you would like to go to, because I started in software engineering and now I'm working in the cloud. So nothing is impossible, and it's only been 2 years.
Wow, that's amazing. All right. Well, tell me one other thing that you've done consistently over the last 3 years, please.
Over the last 3 years, and one thing, let's see. Well, I gained a lot of weight, and I told myself that I'm going to lose all of it and stay healthy. So I lost about 40 to 50 pounds in the past 2 years.
50 pounds. Oh, just only 40 or 50 pounds. Wow. Yeah. How does that make you feel?
Oh, it makes me feel great. But I do wake up at 5 o'clock every day, and I try to start my day very early. So in terms of something consistent that I've been very disciplined at every day is starting my day very early so I can get the not fun working out parts out of the way. And I think I find myself being much more productive that way as well. There's been a lot of studies of, how the best leaders out there do wake up very early. So I have to agree that it's been making me very productive.
Suggest to someone out there who has that challenge why they should do what you've done.
Yeah, it sounds painful, but I mean, I think it's worth it. I think that just depends on everyone who does it.
Well, amazing audience. Again, you're hearing it live from Michelle Hodges. Michelle, let's switch gears for a moment. Let me now invite you into my time machine. Now, let's talk about beautiful, warm, blue, living water. Michelle, what is your earliest childhood memory?
My earliest childhood memory?
Yeah.
Oh, man. This is going to sound really, really dark. But my earliest childhood memory, I think, is when I was in Silver Spring, Maryland, and I was very young. And I was outside. I used to run away from home all the time in my underwear, and it was snowing. And I think I got lost, and basically I was just really, really afraid. And then eventually, my mom found me, which is great. But I think from then on, I probably never ran away outside anymore.
Wow, how old were you in that memory?
I think I was about 4 years old, but it just comes into my mind sometimes. I'm like, oh my God, remember that time that you were outside and it was cold and everything was white and I was just wondering where my mom was. So, but yeah. And also I like to play hide and sneak too. I had memories about that of hiding inside of clothing racks in department stores just to play around with my mom and freak her out. I was the mischievous one, as it seems.
I think so. How do you see that memory connecting to who you are today?
Oh, how do I see that memory connected?
To who you are today.
I would say that I'm a bit adventurous and playful, I guess, because I'm always curious to what is going on out there. And I think like from my earliest memories, I just really, really wanted to know what's going on outside. It was probably snowing and I was curious and I just walked outside and, as a little kid, I eventually got lost, but I'm still the same person. My husband and I, we travel a lot. We've been together for 5 years, but we've been to 26 countries together, and we're just always so curious by other cultures. But yeah, we've been to Caribbean. I've been to the Caribbean once, the Bahamas, and actually coming back to the Caribbean, but in Colombia this year. It is very blue waters and beautiful. But anyway, and the latter is with the hiding in the clothing rack is definitely just a playful side of me, and I'm still exactly the same person. I just, like to mess with people and see what the reactions look like.
Can I offer an interpretation to the thought picture you created in my mind with that memory?
I'm sorry?
Sure, I'll say it again. I'm like, can I offer an interpretation to the thought picture you created in my mind with that memory?
Yeah, totally.
Ooh, I love the concept. So, all right. So the episode, it'll be like 2 episodes before, right? The woman's, she's a coach on confidence. And her earliest childhood memory was actually like walking out on a ledge and the warm breeze would blow up on her. What did she say? Her nuns, right? Which was super funny, right? But it spoke to me about the confidence that's required, though, in life sometimes. And for me, with you, it's so intriguing as well. Yes, you were scared when you got lost, but to just see the confidence in the individual, because you're not seeing the confidence, you're just seeing the curiosity part of it. But I think it's connected. There's a confidence that's required to step out in curiosity. And you do that pretty well. You've done it by moving away from biology to what you're doing in the tech world, right? And I think there's more to come. Definitely fun stuff to see in your future.
Thank you. That's very nice of you to say. I guess little old Mishi was very confident for being so brave at 4 years old.
Definitely. And it continues. Well, if we fast forward to when you were 12, what was your favorite song?
Well, let's see. I had to look up, some songs when you asked this question, but Black Eyed Peas was my favorite song, I think. And, because, it just encourages so much love and so much peace. And it's a great song in general. It's an awesome song to sing along to as well. And it had a great music video. When I say Black Eyed Peas, I meant Where Is the Love? Yep. But I think like that was hands down my favorite song by them as well.
That's super cool. All right, my friend. Well, we've arrived at our destination, but before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form. So it's yes or no. We're going to move pretty quickly here. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Michelle, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to? Hit me yes or no. Hit me yes or no. Say yes or no.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Wait, choose someone to pass my skills to?
Have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
Oh, yes.
Are you married?
Yes, I am.
Do you have children?
No, I don't.
Do you believe in God?
No, I don't.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Yes, I do.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
No, I don't.
How about 3 hours a week?
Yes, I do.
What about screen time? The phone and the computer, is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
Oh, man, that's my job. more.
All right. Michelle, if you had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents who you are, Michelle Hodges, what would you say that is?
A statement that represents who I am. Always be curious and never stop learning.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Definitely connects, right? Can I add
Yeah.
something? Can I add something?
Yeah.
Even if it means
Absolutely.
walking outside half naked, go do it. Something.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. There's something out there that you don't know and you have to find out.
Love it. Michelle, this was such a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Well, I definitely think that if there are any women out there that is interested in tech or want to be involved in women leaders in tech, check out my site. It's michellehodge.es. That's MICHELLEHODG.es. And, feel free to connect with me there.
Love it. Michelle, thank you for being on what is inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Awesome. Nice talking to you, Angel.
Yeah, same here.
This segment has been brought to you by Amazon Enterprise.